you have found your way to have another with Luke. And today, what are we drinking? It is the World Pandemic approved Keystone Light. Cheap for the case, $17 for a 30-pack. A typical light beer, but unlike Budweiser, Miller Lite, and Busch, you could drink 6 of them and not get a headache, stomach ache, and fucking shoulder ache. It's ridiculous. But what I actually wanted to talk about was SpaceX, Starship, launches to Mars. So once we get orbital and we get into the cycle, or SpaceX gets into the cycle of launching out 100 at a time, at that point, I've realized that there's no reason not to use some of the proposed ideas about rotating starships that are attached to each other to create false gravity. Why is that? Well, I don't know. False gravity is cool. It's useful. And if you have all of the starships there just to spin and use anyways, why wouldn't you do it? Unless we figure out a faster propulsion system, we're still going to be taking 3 months to get there. And I know that 3 months doesn't necessarily have a drastic effect on the body bone structure, especially with recent discoveries about working out for 3 straight hours. To offset that, if you don't know, they've determined that if you just do hardcore working out, heavy duty strength training for 3 hours a day, bone loss, not a problem. Now, of course, once you come back after being in no gravity for a year, you still have legs swelling, some pretty big problems. To the point that, dang it, why can't we just figure out an easy way to do the false gravity on the way out to Mars? It really needs to happen. And the problem has always been, if you don't have enough mass to spin around some weird rinky-dink structure, then you just are creating more, like risk. The proposed idea uses a metal structure contained within an entire starship, maybe half, maybe a third, that extends out so you can attach 2 starships to each other and spin to create artificial gravity. I think the diameter on a starship to reduce, parallax and the problems associated with tight radiuses, I think it's somewhere around like 100 meters. I could be wrong, but it's pretty far out where you have a starship here and a starship there. You want to have a pretty, not a crazy fast spin. But anyways, it doesn't matter. If you have 100 starships and you connect them nose to ass, or ass to ass and then nose to nose in some weird, awesome freaking ring of perpetuity, you could just spin the whole damn thing. You wouldn't have to have any extra mass. So, duh. Of course, obviously, we're in the middle of a global pandemic, and we don't know if we're going to be able to find our beer tomorrow. But I think we probably will. And if you're having a hard time finding work, look into construction. There are some areas that are mandatory. And so I've always been a proponent of construction. I look around at my shit. Of course I am. But still tough. So I'll try to tip you if I can, maybe deliver my beer. Does anybody deliver beer? I mean, is that what we're going to do now? Is deliver beer? Okay. I just don't want the cough, I mean, we're going to have to start calling it something else. You got the cough? No, I don't got the cough. Cough gets you off. In other words, yeah, but what I'm saying is, Starship, 100 ships being shot out at a time, connect them nose to end. We can do artificial gravity. Easy peasy. See you next time.